Bitcoin is still going to hit 100K, but if that's going to happen by the end of this year, like so many people, such as the stock to flow followers are saying, it's going to need to do a few things in the very short term. So the next few weeks are very, very pivotal. In this video, we're going to discuss what those things are, and we're going to look a little bit more into where Bitcoin is at right now. Subscribe if you aren't already, hit the like button to show support to the channel, and let's get into this. So recently, as you guys know, we've seen a brutal 50% drop down to this $30,000 to $40,000 range, and people were starting to get pretty confident, and the amount of people that were longing Bitcoin, or basically betting that the price was gonna go up, had reached really high levels because a lot of people felt that 30K was an extremely strong support and there was absolutely no chance that we'd drop below it. As you guys know, in the past few days, we saw the price wick down really shortly, but for a couple of hours to 28.5, which triggered immense fear in the market. Tons of people on Reddit, on Twitter, on YouTube were saying that it's over, Bitcoin is dead, it's bound to drop lower, and then we quickly saw huge buying pressure from that 28.5K level, bouncing us from there back to 34K in just a single day, which brought us back into our 30 to 40K range. Now we have all those people who were calling for Bitcoin to die and go lower. Now they're saying Bitcoin's gonna break up higher, and the longs are piling up again. The markets are extremely irrational, they're bipolar, and it's confusing, and sometimes it's really stressful to stomach. What's gonna happen next? Well, this is what's gonna happen next. If you guys are a viewer of the channel regularly, you know I love the fundamentals. I follow them super closely. I update you guys on them, and I don't trade, so I don't really do much shorter term technical analysis on this channel, but I do follow some really smart people who do a great job of price movement analysis. So let's take a look at someone who has done a really good job of calling the price action in the last few months. This guy's username is Merlin, and he uses PNF charting, which is point and figure charting. And this is a charting technique used in technical analysis where point and figure charting does not plot the price against time. Instead, it plots price against changes in direction by plotting a column of X's as the price rises and a column of O's as the price falls. So here's what Merlin had to say today. The reversal from the dramatic fall from the past few days should have been expected. It does not mean that we hit bottom and the worst is behind us. In fact, the reversal met the low pole reversal target and pretty much stopped. What happens next? If we turn and we fall again, it signals a drop into the mid 20Ks. If we move up and rejoin the last formation, I have a little more hope for continued consolidation. Trend reversals are not really on the table for a number of weeks. I know people don't want to hear that, but it would take that long to have the negative trend line drop from 47K. Here are the numbers. The low pole resolved when the price rose back up to the column to 34.5K. This was about half of the down column. Another breakdown would happen at $28,859. Local support is at $29,450. The price would need to exceed $35,200 in order to rejoin the previous formation. That would not guarantee a move upwards. It merely means that any break after that would carry some energy with it. That break could be up or it could be down. Right now the formation is 2 columns wide. This means the movements are pretty much exhausted. A breakout occurs at $41,718 with local resistance at $40,897. I'm pretty confident that that is not going to happen today, even if Elon tweeted, LOL. The trend reversal target is $47,010. This is a spread of 31 boxes, so we have a ways to go in order to be on the good side. So as you can see, at least from Merlin's post, if you're feeling like the world is ending one day and then you feel like there's nowhere but up the next day, you're probably wrong on both days. The best thing to do is to assess how much money you have exposed in the market, and if you're not overextended, just relax, go outside, stop looking at the charts, let the price do what it's gonna do over the next few weeks so we can have a more clear view on which way the momentum is gonna turn, up or down, whether the bears or the bulls are going to get the control. All right, real quickly, let's look at another person's view. Another interesting chart is the Epochal price discovery in Bitcoin post-halvening. This is a chart posted by EDMM123. Now, this shows the current cycle compared to the previous cycles, comparing total days of the entire cycle as well as the days from the halvening to the next all-time high. He originally posted this chart in April of 2020, so last year, when the price had moved from the lows of 3.5K after the huge crash to roughly 7K. The chart was calling for us to be a little bit more than halfway through the cycle at that point, with a heavy price increase over the next few months, which, as we know now, he was right about because we went all the way up to 64,000. He recently posted an update and quoted a chart he had posted in January of this year, of 2021, where he called for one of two options that were going to happen. One where the price dipped really hard and then recovered until an all-time high towards the end of the year, which we know didn't happen because we went to 64K. The other one where the price rose exponentially and then corrected hard down to the low 30Ks before resuming a pretty parabolic price action to the new all-time highs of this year in October. So obviously that's the option that he believes is going to happen, because that's basically what we did. We went to 64K, now we've come down to a bottom of 30K. In this post he mentions that the price did drop a little bit lower than he estimated in that chart, but he believes that we are following the green line that he predicted, and he believes we're going to see some sideways consolidation through July, and then we will resume a parabolic rise in August until we reach a new all-time high in October of roughly $130,000 before starting the next multi-year bear cycle where we would drop to lows of roughly 35, 36K or so. Okay, I'm not trying to shoot hopium at you or anything like that. I just wanted to bring you two differing conclusions from two different guys, and these two guys have called price action fairly accurately in the past, and they both use interesting methods to reach their conclusions for this that I don't really see that often on crypto Twitter and crypto YouTube. So I thought I would just walk through them really fast with you guys and just give you two different views of what could happen here in the short and medium term. I actually had a friend call today and he asked if he thinks right now is a good idea to buy, and I told him I think the next few weeks are very critical, and we're either going to gain ground and we're going to gain momentum, which will start our slow rise over the next few months, or we're going to get rejected hard in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then we're going to drop through that support of 28.5K that we just bounced off of, and we're going to probably see new lows of maybe 25K. If it breaks through that, 20K, and in my opinion, the very worst we could see, the very bottom would be 15K, which I know that's pretty hard to hear, but it's definitely on the table. And if you're not thinking that's possible, I think you need to reassess yourself, because you don't want to get caught off guard. So in my opinion, buying here, it really is a gamble. It may be wise to buy a bit here and then keep some cash on the side until we see a confirmation of which way the price is going to break out, up or down. Overall, though, I'm still extremely confident in Bitcoin. I haven't sold anything, and in the long term, I think we're still looking fine. And so while it's not fun to see, in my case, 6-figure losses, I haven't sold anything, and I don't believe that this is the end or that Bitcoin will never rise past its all-time high ever again. It's simply whether we're going to see an all-time high within 6 months or we'll have a few years before we reach an all-time high again. I personally tend to lean towards us resuming the movement and seeing an all-time high by the end of this year, because in my opinion, we really did see a euphoric parabolic blow off top at the top of that 64, 65K that's usually so typical of previous bull markets. So for me, this dip and any further drops, even to 15K, like I said, in my opinion, are just amazing buying opportunities where you're getting to buy stuff at prices we haven't seen since last year. I bought this week, I bought last week, and I'll probably buy again next week. Now, talking about fundamentals, they're still looking absolutely wonderful. We saw Grayscale purchase $1 billion worth of Bitcoin in the week of June 14th. So that just happened, and that signals there's a lot of buying pressure from institutions and also retirement funds. I personally have Grayscale Bitcoin fund in my retirement, and I'm sure a lot of other people do. And this just shows that people, even though the price is moving down, are not scared to pick up more at these cheaper prices. We've recently seen some fear, uncertainty, and doubt FUD recently from China, and earlier we saw that from Elon, and I think that exacerbated a technical correction that we were already kind of due for, and I think that helped push the price lower than it would have gone on its own. If you didn't hear this already, China has recently just banned financial institutions and payment companies from providing services related to cryptocurrency transactions, and they banned miners from mining Bitcoin. So over 50% of Bitcoin's hashing rate was actually coming from Chinese miners. And so really quickly we saw a drop in hashing rate. But since then we've seen these miners really fast moving away from China, migrating to other places like Kazakhstan and Texas. Those are the ones I've heard about a lot. And both of those places provide really cheap energy. They're also very favorable for crypto regulations. So in my opinion, of course, it was painful. It made the price drop more, but this is great because we get some of the power out of China's hands, and ultimately, in the long run, this is going to allow mining to be more evenly distributed around the world, and it's going to take away China's power from doing this again, driving the price lower from future bans, because we've seen China ban Bitcoin, I don't know, 10 times now? And it's going to really take away the zhuzh, the energy that they have every time they do this in the future, because they aren't going to have any miners there. Also, really interestingly, is we've seen a rise in wallets that have held for longer than a year, beginning to buy more and more Bitcoin after this recent price movement downwards, which signals that hodlers, people who are holding for the long term, are buying more from the short-term weak hands who have recently capitulated and sold at a loss. We also have Mike McGlone, who's one of the top Bitcoin analysts at Bloomberg. He's calling for 30K to be the absolute bottom. He says that we will probably move up from here. You've probably also heard about the Wyckoff charts by now. Everybody seems to be talking about this, and if that chart is true, which so far we've been tracking in it exactly, then we would be just finishing hitting phase C at the spring point, where the price hits a surprising low before then springing up, ranging for the next few weeks, and then resuming a strong upwards movement, which would probably be around July and August. Finally, we have Anthony Pompliano, one of crypto Twitter's favorite figures, posting kind of a cryptic tweet calling for an amazing piece of news coming in early July. People are kind of speculating on this. People don't really know what it is, but some people are saying it's going to be another country adopting Bitcoin, or it's going to be the first Bitcoin ETF to be approved. Who knows? But in the past, Pomp has posted some cryptic things like this before, and they have panned out to be pretty big, like, for example, El Salvador adopting Bitcoin as its country's one of its currencies. So there's the updates for Bitcoin as of late. I know a lot of people are out there shaking their boots. Maybe they're overexposed, they're freaking out. I know others are salivating at the prices and buying the dip. We have people on both sides of the argument. And what's going to happen in the next few weeks is anybody's guess, but in my opinion, I guarantee it will be very interesting, and I've not changed my bullish outlook at all. I'll update you guys as I normally do over the next few days and the next few weeks. So if you're not subscribed already, make sure that you subscribe and check out the last few videos if you haven't already. I have some really interesting stuff lately that isn't necessarily about Bitcoin, but it is about crypto. I've been playing a really fun Pokemon Go style game that rewards in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I've been earning a lot more since the prices dropped today. It's actually pretty cool because that game pays you in an equivalent amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum of 10 cents a dollar or $10 per vault you open. Since the prices have dropped, they've been giving you more of it, so that's been cool to pick up some more of Bitcoin and Ethereum on the dip. Also, if you haven't already and you're interested in buying crypto or Bitcoin, use my Coinbase link in the description below. It'll also get you a bit of a reward, and then store your crypto with BlockFi so that you can earn 5% or more each year. It's basically a savings account for your crypto. I'll put a link to that below in the description as well. That's it for today. Let me know how you guys been feeling lately. Are you freaked out? Are you okay with this? Are you sweating? Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I will see you beautiful people in the very next video.